بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum, my beloved sons and daughters, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, we are going to do lesson 2 from Learn Arabic Grammar or Grammatical Analysis or Syntax in 5 sessions. So this is our second session, and let us go back to our slides so that we can see what we can start from today. So today, inshallah, we are going to do lesson 2, and we are going to take the marfu'at. Remember, the nouns are either marfu', O sound, pink color, subject, or mansoob, a sound at the end, blue color, object, and E sound at the end, green color, majroor, preceded by the preposition or a possessor. So let's remind you quickly the thing, because we are going to build on this foundation today. And I told you, I gave you only 12 terminologies yesterday. I hope you reviewed them. So now you know marfu' is an example of marfu' would be a subject noun, and from the verb it will be a present tense. An obvious sign of it is U sound. Mansoob, an example would be an object noun, okay? And in the verb, the present tense preceded by an, like to be, verb to be, to. An means to. An yaktub, to write. An yaktubah, remember this is mansoob, sound. So the grammatical end sign changes, and these changes of these signs are what is the grammar is all about in Arabic language, end signs. So if the end sign was O, normally it is marfu', and an example would be subject noun, and from the nouns or from the verbs, it will be present tense without anything before it. Mansoob would be an obvious example, would be object noun, and the obvious sign would be a sound. And in verb, it will be a present tense preceded by an, to. An yaktubah. Here we had yaktubu. Here we have an yaktubah. U yaktubu became yaktubah. Why? Because there was an before it. And then we have majroor. There is no verb. Majroor, remember, there's no verb. An example would be a possessor noun. And the sound is E, like Kitabu Muhammadin, Kitabu Muhammadin, book of Muhammad, book of Muhammad, Kitabu Muhammadin, or Min Muhammadin, min from Muhammadin, preceded by preposition, in, we said E is the sound, sometimes it has in, noon in it, when there is no alif wal lam before it in most of the normal cases. Then we have majzoom. We don't have any noun majzoom. We have only verb majzoom. And that majzoom happens when we have a present tense, like yaktubu. We have lam before it. Never. That means yaktub. Sukun. Majzoom, the obvious sign is sukun. We took that yesterday in our science, and then we continued. And then we said that the words in Arabic language are either flexible, changeable at the end sign, or stubborn, like huwa. So if they're flexible, we will normally say it is a noun which is marfu' with the dhamma. It is a noun which is mansoob with a fatha. It is a noun which is majroor with a kasra. Normally we'll say. However, if it is a mabni, like huwa, we will say it is a pronoun, or it is a demonstrative pronoun, or it is a relative pronoun, all these, or it's a particle. So, but here, huwa is a pronoun. So it is a pronoun, mabni, like fixed with a fatha, okay? Understand that you don't have to memorize these terminologies now. Memorize what I tell you, those 12 things yesterday, Those were memorized. Today you are going to memorize 8 things plus 8 examples. But this is just understand that huwa does not change. So if it does not change, what if huwa was a subject? We will say huwa is fixed with the fatha in the place of being what? Marfu and not marfu. And what if it was an object? We will say object huwa is fixed with a fatha in the mabni. Fixed mabni means fixed with a fatha, doesn't change in the place of being mansub. Okay, what if it was a preceded by a preposition or a possessor? So we will say huwa is fixed with a fatha, it's a possessor fixed with a fatha, or it is a preceded by a preposition min huwa, from him, preceded by a preposition huwa fixed with a fatha in the place of being majroor. Okay, this is what we said yesterday. In English language, normally the sentences are nominative, like a nominal sentence. Nominal sentence. They start with noun. Like for example, Muhammad came. You don't say in English came Muhammad. Okay. Muhammad ate. You don't say ate Muhammad in English. Muhammad is eating. You don't say is eating Muhammad. Otherwise, you'll be the Jabba the Hutt, or what they say, Lord Vader, or Lord the green small chubby guy in Star Wars. You'll be that kind of person who speaks back from front. So therefore, in English, you have the sequence. The grammatical sequence is what defines. In Arabic, the grammatical signs, they tell you which is the subject, which is the object normally. However, in Arabic language, a sentence can start with a verb. A sentence can start with a verb, okay? Like قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. قُلْ is a verb, say. Okay, it's an imperative verb. قُلْ قَالَ تَعَالَى. God said. قَالَ is he said. So we don't say God said in Arabic, we said God. Okay, said God. قَالَ said. Ta'ala said the exalted. Said the Allah the exalted. قَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى. So said Allah the exalted. But normally in English, no, you say Allah the exalted said. In Arabic language, you can start with a noun, you can start with a verb sentence. So if you start with a verb, it is called verbal sentence. Jumla fa'aliyya. You see here? Jumla fa'aliyya, which starts with a verb and is composed of verb and fa'il, the doer, the action and the one who does the action. Okay, the action and the one who does the action. So verb, we call it fi'il, and the verbal subject fa'il. Fa'il. Focus on this fa'il, because in future we are going to use this. I'm not going to use it every time, verbal subject. This is just to let you know that this is a subject, but it is a subject of verbal sentence, in opposed to a subject which is a subject for nominal sentence. Okay, remember we said verbal sentence, nominal sentence. Verbal sentence starts with a verb, nominal sentence starts with a noun, and it is composed of nominal subject and a predicate, khabar. Okay, subject, predicate. Both are marfu', both have u sounds normally. Sometimes it may start with a preposition. Sometimes this nominal sentence may start with a preposition, but the subject would be then after the preposition. Okay, so now again, focus with me. I'm going to repeat this two things which I said, and the examples which are written there, we are going to take the examples. So in Arabic language, we have two types of sentence. We have verbal sentence, which starts with a verb. Subject of this verbal sentence is called in Arabic fa'il, which is subject of verbal sentence or verbal subject. Good. Nominal sentence starts with what? With a, yes, noun. Starts with a noun. Okay. And the subject of it is called what? Nominal subject. That was verbal, because this is for the nominal sentence. And this is in Arabic, it's called mubtada. Mubtada from ibtida, like in Urdu says shuru, ibtida. ابتدأ يبتدئ مبتدأ, because this noun started the sentence. The sentence was initiated with a noun. So that noun is a subject noun. Like in English, this is like in English, in Swedish, in most of the languages, they start with a noun, and this pattern of Arabic language sentence is like any other language. This is, however, is odd. Okay, so this which starts with a verb, some of the few languages they start with a verb as well, but most of the English or Swedish or many of the European languages, they start with a subject. They start with a subject, and then comes the object, then comes the verb, or then comes the predicate, whatsoever. But they start with the subject. In Arabic and some language like Hebrew, they can start with a verb as well. So these are the two things. So here, let us take an example. Allama. Allama means taught. Allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. He taught human whatever he never knew. Muhammad, what is this? Muhammadun, and it's pink color. Okay, so it is what? Marfu'. So in analysis, we say Muhammadun is subject, okay, fa'il, marfu', it's a marfu' grammatical position, with what? With dhamma. Remember these three questions we ask when we analyze a sentence. There are sometimes more, but these are basic three questions. What is it? It is a noun or a verb. If it's noun, then what is it? It is marfu' mansub majrur. It is, what is the grammatical title of it? It is fa'il, subject. And fa'il, normally what is fa'il? Is it marfu' mansub majrur? It is marfu', pick color. Okay. What is the sign of it? It's marfu' with the dhamma. I'll keep repeating this analysis because this course is about how to analyze the Arabic sentence. Because when we take Surah Al-Fatiha, we are going to analyze every single word in Surah Al-Fatiha. Okay. So that will strengthen your skills of Arabic grammar. Then you will be mastering the Arabic language, inshallah, with practice, obviously. Allama Muhammadun, taught Muhammadun. Okay, I've kept this Allama Muhammadun. Under the line is the vowel sign. Because in English, we don't have vowel sign. We represent those vowel in with letters. Allama, ma, a. Okay, a. Muhammadun, okay, because there's no alif wal lam, so we have un. Zaidan, there's no alif wal lam, so an, double nunation, nooned vowel, vowel with the noon. Zaidan, Zaidan is blue, it's object. So we have verb, we have subject, and we have an object. So this is called a verbal sentence, where you have verb, verbal subject, fa'il, and verbal object, maf'ul. Maf'ul. So see the three words from one root. Fa'ala, fa'in lam, do. Fa'il, verb, allama, this is past tense. Okay. Allama, fa'ala, fa'a. So this is fa'il. Muhammadun, fa'il. So fi'il, you put alif fa'il. And this is Zaidan maf'ul, maf'ulun bihi, the object. So who taught Muhammad? His teaching was done upon who? Remember, Mansur? There's a dominant, somebody dominating him. If it was not for Muhammadun, Zaid would not have learned. So Zaidan is the maf'ul bihi. Then we have Jumla Ismiya, nominal sentence, which starts with a noun. And it is composed, so the example, at-tayru, that means the bird. You can write whatever is not written because you need to have a paper and a pen beside you, because not everything is written on my slides. There are informations, if you feel that you need to write it down, write it down. Like I did not write the meaning of this, at-tayru jamilun. Okay, that means the bird is beautiful. The bird is beautiful. At-tayru, so this is and it's pink, so it has to be marfu'. Okay, we agreed in the beginning yesterday that we are going to consider marfu' nouns pink. So these both are marfu' noun. So this is the subject, which is marfu' with the dhamma. And this is the predicate, which is marfu' with the dhamma. Subject, predicate, nominal sentence. Starts with a noun. At-tayr is a noun. The bird is beautiful. At-tayru, jamilun, jamilun. So now at-tayr, in Arabic we call it mubtada. Jamilun, we call it khabar. Mubtada marfu' with the dhamma, nominal subject marfu' with the dhamma, then jamilun khabar, predicate marfu' with the dhamma. So this khabar is like informing, you know, in khabar in Arabic, like information, akhbar, khabar al-thiqa in Arabic, samachar, news. So what is happening? The predicate gives you information about at-tayr, about the subject. At-tayr, yes, what is with the tayr? Is beautiful. See, is beautiful. I'm describing the bird. The bird is beautiful. So there's a predication, there's an information, there's a kind of news, there's a kind of something to know about. What is the bird? The bird is beautiful. When you say at-tayru, what at-tayru? Jamilun. Oh, because we were confused. What are you trying to say about the? So when you inform, when you give information, that is predication, that is predicate. Normally in English, when we translate khabar, we use normally is. The bird is beautiful. Here, the bird is beautiful. So is a predicating component, or the birds are beautiful. Is, are, these verbs are the verb. These are verbs in English language, but they are incomplete verb. They are there to super glue the sentences. So if you say the bird beautiful, then you will become like the Jabba the Hutt, or Jabba the Hutt, or something, Lord Vader, or something like that, Yoda or yoga or whatsoever. So therefore you need to put is or are in English. Otherwise you in Arabic you don't need to, because in Arabic the context itself, it indicates at-tayru jamilun. You understand? But in English you say the bird beautiful. What? Are you Chinese or Lebanese or Mayonnaise or Pakistanese? What? You don't sound like Arab. How can you say the bird beautiful? Okay. So therefore, this is beautiful. When you translate, you have to put is with the predication, because in Arabic you don't see is, but in English you have to put is. And same thing in Urdu, you have to put hai. The bird is khubsurat hai. Parinda khubsurat. Parinda khubsurat. What is parinda khubsurat? Those Urdu speakers, if they're with us, parinda khubsurat hai is. So in Arabic language is, in Urdu language is comes after. In Persian also, I forgot what they call bird in Persian. Uh, let's say parinda, maybe it's same parinda. Khubsurat asked, is. So in Persian also this is comes at the end. In Urdu, hai comes at the end. In English, is comes before the verb, before the noun, predicated noun. But in Arabic, you don't need to put is. Just at-tayru jamilun. This is understandable in Arabic language without needing to put any auxiliary verb or those verbs to be kind of things with this sentence. Okay, now let's move on. So now we know that sentences are two types. So we are going to take, oh no, what is that? Don't freak out. Calm down, calm down. This is that ice cream, you know, like 3-layer ice cream. You have pistachio flair, you have that blue Yankee stuff flair. With those kids, they love to make their mouth blue bubble gum or whatsoever. And then you have the pink stuff. So these are princess colors. That's why I kept these princess colors to not freak you away. Okay, so anyhow, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Tawakkalna ala Allah. I'm not going to tell you all these 3 colors today. Each day, inshallah, we're going to take one color at a time. So as you know, pink was what? What? Wait. Pink was marfu'. Okay? Pink was marfu. What was the obvious sign of it? Obvious sign, O. There's O, this tiny itsy bitsy, but once you get your slide, you can enlarge it. Okay, so there's O sound, and then there was this what? Oi, sorry, mansub. Okay, what was blue color? Yes, these are the mansubat. And what was the obvious sign of it? Ah. And then we have this sweet little majroor, the green. Only three things, alhamdulillah. And what was the obvious sign of it? E. So this is marfu, grammatical position. This is mansub, grammatical position. This is majroor, grammatical position. This is the obvious sign of marfu, u, but there can be other signs. And this is obvious. This is mansub. Obvious sign of it is a, and this majroor, obvious sign of it is e. We kept telling you this, the first line, okay, in our examples. We had to make it easy. So we said the obvious example of it is verbal subject. Remember verbal subject? Muhammadun here. Allama Muhammadun. Okay? So that was the verbal subject. Allama Muhammadun. And the obvious grammatical title, because there are several grammatical types of mansub. Marfu are 8 types. Mansub are 12 types, majroor are 3 types. This is all the grammar. This is, you are seeing in front of you 80% of the grammar. If you get this course and you digest it, I promise you the grammatical analysis all your life will become, you'll become relaxed and you'll enjoy this, all that. The comparative method, I love it, and many students, they love to see comparative things. Some students, they don't like comparative things. So I like to present everything in one comparative mode. So we are comparing marfu, mansub, majroor. We are comparing with this obvious sign of O, obvious sign of A, obvious sign of E. And we said obvious example was subject here. In our previous example, Muhammadun. And here obvious example was what? Object, okay? Ad-darsa, lesson, ad-darsa. And Kitabu Muhammadin, E, book of Muhammadin, okay, of possessor. And we said also min Muhammadin can be. So this is already like kind of done. So now today we are going to take the types of marfu. Tomorrow, inshallah, we are going to take the types of mansub. If you know these things, you will be knowing 80% of the grammatical analysis. If you practice, then it will become very easy for you. So that's why we will, in 5 lessons, and then practice. We're going to practice on the surahs of the Quran, which you mostly encounter. Okay, so let's see the marfu', okay? Marfu'. So we said we are going to take marfu'. Now, remember I told you I'll give you 8 things to memorize today. Yesterday I gave you 12. Today I'm going to give you 8. So memorize this 8. Fa'il. Fa'il. Verbal subject. That means subject of verbal sentence. Remember this one? Muhammadun. Subject of verbal sentence. It started with a verb. So it's a verbal sentence. Okay. Then na'ib fa'il. Successor of fa'il. Or vice of fa'il. Or substitute of fa'il. I'll give you examples, inshallah. And then we have, so these 2 things are marfu' related verbal sentence. All these things, these 1, 2, 3, 4, they're related to nominal sentence. So we have number 3, mubtada. Remember our mubtada? At-tayru. Ooh, the bird, ooh, the bird. Okay, so that is mubtada, nominal subject. And then remember khabar, predication. We go back. Jamilun. Jamilun. Okay? And then we have noun of kana. These there are sisters. They come and they mess up with the relations. So let's say verbal subject, let's say mubtada and khabar, they are husband and wife. They are happily living forever. But sometimes some sisters, they create damage to this sweet couple loving birds. You see, some sisters in the world, they just want to destroy families out of envy, out of owning their sibling or whatsoever. They want to destroy. So in Arabic language, we have some destroyer sisters. Not all the sisters are bad, okay? I'm talking about the destroyer sisters, those who destroy the families. So some are husband sister, they destroy the relation of husband and wife, and some are wife sister, they destroy the relation of the husband and wife. A wife sisters, they change the mind of the wife. Husband sisters, they change the mind of the husband. So sisters of Kana, okay, I'm going to just mention here sisters, so you know that our example. So let me just write here, sister qurbatan lillahi ta'ala, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to make your lives easy, okay? So here, Kana or sisters, Kana or its sisters, okay? And then we have Inna or its sisters, okay? And let's just, since we said, I'm just going to put in the bracket husband. So husband is like a mubtada, okay? And then his wife is the predicate. So now, hopefully, it will be easier for you to relate these things together. So once you understand husband and wife, and then you know that there are sisters who mess up with either husband, either the wife, then your life in grammar becomes easier. Because many times the students, they get confused. Oh, this changes the subject, or this changes the predicate. So forget subject and predicate in this lesson. Consider subject is husband, nominal subject, and predicate is the wife. Because mubtada can never form a life, a family, without a wife. Husband can never be husband without a wife. So mubtada has to have khabar to form a proper sentence. Like the verb has to have a verbal subject. Mubtada has to have a khabar, husband and wife. Now sometimes these sisters, they come. Bad sisters, not good sisters, bad sisters. They just mess up with the mind. So sisters of Kana, they mess up with the mind of the wife, okay? Kana, let me just also, just for you to relate, okay? So these mess with the wife. Okay, you will understand what I'm saying. Just bear with me. Just understand that these are messers of relations, and these people, these sisters, they mess with the husband, our mubtada. Okay, so these are sisters of the husband. They mess up with the husband, and those are sisters of the wife. Okay, so sisters of wife, sisters of husband. I'm not writing articles and those kind of things because I don't have enough space in my this slot. Okay, good. It's always that if the grid becomes bigger than the slide, then I have problems. Good. Okay. So now again, follow with me back to the top. So we have verbal sentence, we have nominal sentence. These two are related to verbal sentence. These are related to the nominal sentence. 3, mubtada, 4, khabar, 5, 6, predicate of inna, okay, or its sisters. And then we have the noun of kada, kada. Kana, just remember kana, kan pakad, kan mavine, she fills the ears up and then the messes up with the wife. So these sisters, they mess up with the wife, they can't. In Urdu, kan means kan, like ear. Okay, so Urdu people, they know kan. But here in Arabic, obviously, it's was something else. Kan Allahu ghafur rahim. كان محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم رسول الله. Okay, so كان محمد رسول الله. Sorry, that was the change. I'll show you now in our examples. So, and then with tabi'. Tabi' is a follower. Tabi' is a follower. So tabi' you'll find it in mansub, in majroor. Why? Because follower of marfu' is marfu'. Follower of mansub is mansub. Follower of majroor is majroor. Okay, so this follower you will find in 3 of them. And there are 4 followers we are going to tell you. But let's come back to this 1 to 7. Okay, let's see. So we have 8. We are going to give you 8 examples. Now, remember, I told you I'll give you 8 terminologies to memorize today. And you don't need to memorize it. When we start analyzing, you need to keep that, print out this colorful burfi, ice cream or whatever. Urdu people, they call it burfi. That means this is a colorful sweet, Indo-Pakistani colorful sweet. And then I print out that template, keep it beside you whenever. So if you keep it beside you, whenever we put examples and in Surah Al-Fatiha, you'll just look at it. With repeated looking, it will get in your mind. Okay, so I don't pressure too much on memorization as much as I make these short things to keep it in front of you. Okay, when we start analyzing Surah Al-Fatiha, make sure it's in front of you, and I'll tell you, look into your chart. So it will become like your cheat sheet. Okay, so let's start taking examples of, we said there are 2 verbal sentences. Okay, so let's take an example of verbal sentences. Okay, so subject. Remember, I'll give you another example. Kataba, kataba. This is not in your slides, okay? Because I forgot to write them on the pink. I made the pink big one, but did not have time. This is Muhammadun. Remember, there's no alif wal lam. And we have ad-darsa. Okay. Kataba Muhammadun ad-darsa. Kataba is a verb. Good. I'm not supposed to use green color because it is a color of preposition. But anyhow, just bear with me. Okay. And then we said subject is pink. Okay. So this is pink. And this is what? Verbal subject. The one who wrote because why? The sentence is verbal sentence. It started with the verb. And then we have the object. Okay. Object. So this is fa'il. This is fa'il. As I said, at this point, you don't need to know this Arabic words. Okay. Just know verb, verbal subject, and object. The one who did and the thing which was done. Okay. So now this is the first marfu', correct? Fa'il. Fa'il. If we go back to our slide, we will see the first one done. Fa'il. Okay, this is fa'il. Now we come to na'ib fa'il. What is na'ib fa'il? Now you know that this is verb. This is verbal subject. This is our example. Okay, and this is maf'ul. This we are going to take tomorrow. Sound. So this is the u sound, marfu' with the dhamma. Marfu' with the dhamma. So Muhammadun is fa'il. We said type of it, verbal subject. Marfu', grammatical position, with the dhamma. What is the sign of it? The dhamma. Now we'll go to na'ib fa'il, the second marfu'. Remember, we have 8 marfu'at. Okay, 8 marfu'at. So now let's go to the second marfu'. The second marfu is na'ib fa'il. What is na'ib? You know, like Urdu speaking, when we recite majalis, we say na'ib imam. Na'ibul imam ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu shaykh. Like there are four nawabs. Okay. Somebody yanub, somebody like we have president, we have vice president. Okay. We have president, we have vice president. So we have successor or vice. So this is called vice of subject, vice of subject, or successor of subject. So how? When the president goes, okay, when the king goes, king is wearing the crown. Okay, this on is our crown. On is our crown of the king. When the king goes, his heir apparent, his successor comes in his place and takes the crown. Or if the president goes, his successor or vice president takes the responsibility of the president. So this is what is happening here. It is very easy. Okay, just this coloring is kind of, let me just erase a few things and write this back again so it is neat. I'll write the same example. Don't worry about it. But it will be, so this was kataba, wrote, Muhammadun. Why the dhamma is not coming out properly? Yes. Ad-darsa. So we said this is our verbal subject. Okay, this is where we are doing, and this is our object. And this is our verb. Good. Now, sometimes for some artistic reason, eloquent reason, we don't want to present subject. Maybe there's a threat. Maybe there's a threat, or maybe the subject doesn't want to be in picture. Okay, so we have this kataba, and we have this ad-dars. So what will happen here? The subjects are no, keep me bande khuda, keep me some unanimous. The main thing is the lesson is written. Why do you want to put my name? Let me be concealed. Let me be hidden. I want to do it for the sake of Allah. This guy wanted help. I helped him. Oh, I wrote a lesson for him, helping him. So the lesson was written. The main thing is that the lesson was written. Now, who wrote it? Why do you want to know? Khalas, let me be between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's number one. Number two, maybe threat. Maybe we don't want to tell people who wrote the lesson because he might be in trouble. Or maybe for any reason, the subject doesn't want to be there, or we don't want the subject to be in the sentence. So the sentence, this is an active sentence. Why? Because we have subject in it. Then the subject disappears, the sentence becomes passive. Okay, so we need to do two things. The verb was what? Kataba. The verb will become kutiba. Like it was wrote, it has become written. Okay? Written. Kutiba. So it was wrote. Now it has become what? Written. Passive form. We are going to take all this, okay? So it is just, I want to explain what is na'ib fa'il. Remember the first marfu' was verbal subject, fa'il. Second marfu' was na'ib fa'il. So I'm just explaining na'ib fa'il. So I had to make this changes. So kataba becomes kutiba, passive force. It was written. And then we bring this object and we give him the sign of the crown. Remember that crown? We give him the crown. We give them the responsibilities. So now that is oo, and here it was ah. Okay, this is oo sound, and here darsa. Darsa became darsu. Yes, because he is not an object grammatically, though meaning wise. Literally, it's an object. The lesson is lesson, it's an object. It was written in English. But grammatically, we cannot say object. Why? Because the sign object is from the blue group, mansubat. And now this guy has become from the pink group. How can I consider him maf'ul, object? And he's not having the grammatical position of blue group. This was blue group, remember? This was from the blue group. And now this has become from the pink group. So it is an object originally, but we can't say object. Linguistically, we cannot say maf'ul. Why? Because maf'ul is from the category of mansubat, from the mansub, from the blue group. And now this guy has changed the group, converted to pink group. Why? Because he's now acting as a fa'il. He's not a fa'il. He has taken the place of the fa'il. So it's an object which has taken the place of the fa'il. We can't call him object because it's not blue. We can't call him subject because it is not the doer. Okay? So we call him naib fa'il to get out of the jagda, to get out of the conflict, because it is an object, blue, but we can't call it object. Why? Because it has become oo sound, pink sound. It's gone into the pink group. So should we call him fa'il? No. He's not the doer. It is something which was done, which is object. So what should we do? Na'ib fa'il, vice of subject, successor of subject, and get out from the conflict. This is how the Arabs, they decided that this guy is going to be the successor of the subject and not the subject anymore. And it's really object, but it's not going to be object because it's not blue. It's not a sound. You got the hang of it? Good. Now, so we took two things of verbal sentence. Subject, this one, Muhammadun, and na'ib subject, vice of subject. Verbal subject, because it's a verbal sentence, started with a verb. Okay, so it's a verbal sentence, and it is there in the sentence, so it is called verbal subject. However, if it disappears, the subject takes its place, or the object takes its place, but object will be no more an object, and this will be no more called subject because meaning-wise it's an object. So we will call it na'ib fa'il. So what is ad-darsu? Kutiba ad-darsu. The darsu was written. Darsu, ad-darsu is, look how I say. Ad-darsu is na'ib fa'il. First I say the title of it. Then I say it is marfu' mansub majroor. Marfu', the grammatical position. First the type of it. Then the grammatical position. Then with what it is marfu'. What is the sign of it? Dhamma. Na'ib fa'il, marfu' with the dhamma. Vice of subject, marfu' with the dhamma. This is how we'll analyze. It's not complicated. It's easy, but we are going to repeat all these things. Okay? So now we have to go to the other. Now verbal sentence were done. Now let's take the four nominal sentence cases. Let's erase the mess. Subhanallah, no powder, no smell of marker. Good old days of whiteboard and chalks, and when you get all showered with the chalk powder, and then you have to dust yourself, or the smell of marker which might make you high. So alhamdulillah, we are safe now, inshallah, except for the rays of the computer now. So let's go back to our pen and take the nominal sentence. In nominal sentence, I'm going to give an example, and we're going to put the sisters and everything inside the one example. So we do the comparative analysis, okay? So I'll just give you one sentence so that I'll not give you too much things today to do. Okay, so we come to a nominal sentence. Aliyun علي قائم. Remember, الطير جميل. Ali is standing. Ali is standing. Okay, luckily it was written in pink. So Aliyun, pink, qa'imun. Remember the way I said? What is the type of this marfu? It's mubtada. It's nominal subject. Let's bring our black pen. Nominal subject, NS. Okay? And what is this qa'imun? It's predicate. So now let's analyze it. Aliyun is nominal subject, mubtada. Mubtada. Marfu', remember what is the grammatical type, what is the grammatical position, and what is the sign of it. Aliyun is mubtada, nominal subject. Marfu', pink color, with the what? With the dhamma. Obviously, there's no alif wal lam. Okay, so we put two dhammas with nunated dhamma, nunated dhamma. Aliyun. Okay, and then we have this qa'imun. Okay, so this is nominal subject. What is this? Again, three things. What is this? It's a khabar, predicate. Is it marfu', mansub, majroor? Marfu', pink color. Okay, marfu' with what? What is the sign of it? With the dhammatain, dhamma. You just say dhamma. You don't have to say double dhamma or nunated dhamma. It's dhamma, marfu' with the dhamma. Everybody understands. Okay, so how many we took now? We took two. We have 8 marfu'at. Remember? Alhamdulillah, 4 are done. 4 are done. Verbal subject, okay? The vice of verbal subject. Now we have done what? These two are marfu'at. Subject, predicate. Nominal subject and predicate. Nominal subject, why? Because the sentence is nominal sentence, started with a noun. If this is clear, let's come to the sisters. Now these are sweet husband and wife. Aliyun qa'imun. Ali's wife is qa'im, mashallah. They both agree with each other. This is oo sound, this is oo sound, this is oo sound. So how much mashallah, love and passion there is in this husband and wife. Okay? Ooh. Perfect. They're together. Their mindsets are together. Now the wife has sisters. We call it sisters of Kana. Okay, so this is our wife. Now this is my, don't take it as a real grammar thing. And this is a husband, okay? This is my metaphor used here. Husband and wife. Sisters of Kana. Remember Kan, ear, in Urdu, ear, Kan, they fill the ear, whisper. The sweet husband, amazing husband couple, they were living, mashallah, happy. Then came this sister, one of the sisters of Kana, the Kana and its sister, Kana, this was. Okay, so what will happen? Because their husband, they want to do whatever husband, okay? These are sisters of who? Kana. And they are sisters of the wife. Sisters of the wife, okay? So they can't do anything to the husband because they're sisters of the wife. So husband will remain aliyun, aliyun. But we call it what? Subject of kana. We don't call it mubtada anymore. Okay, we call it noun of kana. Okay, noun of kana. Let me just be precise and write noun of kana. Okay, aliyun, noun of kana. So now aliyun is not mubtada anymore. Grammatical title has changed. It's not mubtada, it's not nominal subject. It's noun of kana. Good. Noun of kana. Perfect. So this is our fifth marfu'. Fifth marfu'. Okay. Aliyun was fourth. Qa'im was fifth. Noun of kana. Noun of kana. They are these sisters. They mess up with this wife. Kana aliyun qa'iman. Iman. Oh no, what's happening? What happened to the un? There was un before. Un became an. They messed up with the wife, husband and wife. They were all together. Their minds were together. Now the wife has become changed. The wife has become what? Changed. Who? Sisters. Sisters of wife, sisters of kana, they change. They call it akhawat, kana in Arabic language. Literally, they call it akhawat. Sisters is not metaphor. They are called sisters of kana because they are a group of words. They have similar impact on the predicate. Similar impact. They change the predicate, but they don't change. So this is called khabar kana, predicate of kana, not anymore predicate. Why? Because it's changed. Predicate of kana. So we have a situation here. The wife has changed. What will we do? So this kana, what did they do? They changed the wife, sisters of wife, sisters of kana, sisters of wife. So always, whenever you will have kana, the predicate will be a sound. It will be from the mansubat, which we are going to take tomorrow, the blue ones. Okay? So the blue ones. But Aliyun Becharo, all the time she was listening, but the sisters, they came in his life, the husband and wife, and they changed the mindset of the sister. So what happened from oo sound? It became a sound. Good. So now we come to the next one. Kana. And then we have inna. Okay. So we said sisters of inna, sisters of kana, sister of wife, sister of husband. So now we have kana aliyun. Here Ali does not change, but we call it what? Predicate, subject, or ism, noun of kana. Noun of kana. Okay? And then we have qa'imun. Qa'imun. This one is also from the marfu'at. It is from the predicate of inna. Predicate of inna. Okay? Your paper has enough space, you can write full because this might become riddles for you in future. So pre means predicate. Okay, so that's it. So these are the fifth and sixth marfu'at. What is the fifth and sixth marfu'? Noun of kana, predicate of inna. They are from the marfu'at. But what happened to this one? We said the wife got messed up here. قائما كان علي قائما. Remember كان الله غفورا. كان الله غفورا an. Okay, so كان علي قائما an. So this is the change of the vowel sign, change of the grammatical position. So this is called predicate of kana. Okay. So what about the aliyun in the second sentence? Don't worry, I'm bringing it. Inna aliyan. No, yes. Inna aliyan. That on changed to an. Why? Sisters, inna means verily. They are the sisters of husband. The sweet husband, aliyun, qa'imun, on. Sisters of kana, they came, sisters of wife, they made the wife an, from on to an. Sister of husband came, they changed the husband from on to an, from aliyun to aliyan. But they left the wife because they can't influence the wife, but they started filling the husband ear and they made the husband change. So these are our sweet couple, mubtada and khabar, nominal subject and predicate. When kana enters, then it is not called mubtada, it is called noun of kana. Okay, noun of kana. And then the khabar becomes predicate of kana, which we are going to take tomorrow from the mansubat. Okay, and then inna, when inna comes, it changes what? The husband, sisters of husband, sisters of inna. So it is changed from O sound to A sound, and we will call it noun of inna, ism inna. It will not be mubtada. The grammatical title is changed. Okay, the grammatical title is noun of inna, and then this is predicate of inna. So we have two left, and inshallah we are done for today. Let's put these two here, and inshallah. So I'm going to erase this. You will find this on your video. If you want to take a snapshot, you are most welcome to do that. But anyhow, inshallah, when you get the video, you can write it neatly, because you know that typing on the screen with this pen, which is shaky, and computer, which is shaky, causes these kind of issues. Let me just erase this quickly. Good. Let's now come to the last two, 7th and 8th. Okay. So 7th, 8th, 7th is Sisters of Kada. Sisters of Kada is same like Sisters of Kana, but they are very diplomatic. They do not want the wife kabisa. They say, get the wife out of your life. So what? They say, bring a sentence. Bring a sentence. Bring a present tense sentence. Oh my goodness, these sisters are worse than Sisters of Kana, and we thought the Sisters of Kana were like they messed up with the wife. Now these one, they want the husband to get rid of the wife and just bring a dummy or something like that, and just or servants or maids or whatsoever, but get rid of the wife. You don't deserve the wife. So these are Sisters of Kada. So let's say we had the sentence what? Aliyun. Oh my, where's my pink? Aliyun qa'imun. Aliyun qa'imun. Let me just hold this so that I can type. Yeah. Aliyun qa'imun. This was our sentence. Mubtada, nominal subject, and khabar. Okay, which is predicate. Let me just keep predicate, not to make your lives confused. Subject, predicate, nominal subject, predicate. Okay, so what happens when kada comes in? Kada means almost. Remember when yakadu alladhina kafaru, the ayat of Nazrebad, evil eye. Okay, when yakadu, people, they recite this ayat to keep the evil eye away. Kada comes in. Kada, okay, noun of kada. MashaAllah, thank you so much, kada. Thank you for keeping the ism kada. So this is called not mubtada anymore. It's called noun of kada. Kada. Noun of kada means almost, okay? Noun of kada. Kada aliyun. They said we don't want wife. An yaqum. So it's a sentence. Ali was almost going to stand. Kada aliyun an yaquma. Kada aliyun an yaquma. So this is a sentence, and there's no khabar here. This sentence is in the place of being khabar of kada. So kada, the predicate, this we're going to take, this is something advanced, but here I want to let you know what is noun of kada. This is the noun of kada. This is our main example here. Almost Ali was going to stand, but he did not stand. Otherwise, he would have been in trouble. I asked question. It was very complicated. And if you don't answer, you get out of the class. So Ali was almost going to stand to answer. He sat down because he was not sure about the answer. Ali was almost going to answer. Ali was almost going to stand up. Kada Ali. And so this qa'imun became yaqum, to stand. Ali was almost going to stand. So this is our sisters of kada. Kada, there are several verbs like kada. They act like kada in desiring this khabar to be a nominal, and they have the subject will be noun of kada, noun of kada. And this is 7th marfu. 8th marfu is easy. 8th marfu is easy. Eighth marfu is the tabi', followers. Okay? Followers. Okay? Let's say subject. Muhammadun. Muhammadun wa. So this is conjunction wa. Conjunction. Wa Aliyun. Muhammadun and Ali. So whenever there is a conjunction, whatever is after conjunction will follow whatever is the sign and the grammatical position of the previous conjunction. So Muhammadun, we said it's marfu' with the dhamma, maybe mubtada, maybe whatever, but Aliyun is now in this example. So follower of a marfu' is marfu', follower of mansub is mansub, follower of majroor is majroor, follower of anything is, it follows the thing which is before. So what is the grammatical analysis of Ali? We will say Ali, what is it? It is conjuncted noun, okay? So this is the type of it. Tabi', it's a follower. It's a follower. What is it? Marfu' mansub majroor. In this case, it is marfu'. Why? Because it follows a marfu'. What is the sign of it? Dhamma. Why? Because the sign of previous one is dhamma. So anyhow, it is a conjuncted noun or tabi', follower, which is marfu' because it is follower of marfu'. That's it. What is the type of it? Tabi' or conjuncted noun. And what is it is marfu' mansub majroor. It is marfu'. Why it is marfu'? Because previous one is marfu'. What is the sign of it? Dhamma. Again, three things. Remember we asked. So this is all what I wanted to say. So we did verbal fa'il. What was the example? كتب محمد الدرس. Go back to the slide. كتب محمد verbal subject. نائب فاعل كتب الدرس. So it was an object, but now it has become pink. Okay. And then we took mubtada. What was mubtada? Aliyun, with the dhamma. What was khabar? Qa'imun. Okay. Qa'imun, standing. Ali is standing. Aliyun qa'imun. Noun of kana. What was noun of kana? Kana aliyun. Qa'iman is blue. But here in the pink area, kana aliyun. Khabar inna we took. Inna aliyan. Inna, predicate of inna. Kana aliyun. Kana aliyun. And then inna aliyan qa'imun. Remember, the wife got changed. Here, the wife got changed. Here, the husband got changed. And the noun of kada, almost. Kada Muhammadun or kada Aliyun an yaquma. An yaquma. Ali was almost going to stand. And then we took tabi'. There are 4 tabi'. We took today 1 tabi'. Inshallah, tomorrow we are going to take the remaining tabi'. So, ja'a ar-rajulu wal-aqilu. The man came, and the intellectual. Follows conjunction. This is called, it's very easy. Tabi', whatever after waw follows before waw. And the man and the intellectual came. Okay? The rest of the tabi' we do tomorrow. Our time is finished. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على Allahumma salli